Genetics.
Whoa!
I like this crowd. This is a little different than I usually talk to a bunch of doctors and it's a little dull. And how did we end up in this setting? I mean, this is beautiful. Arizona, right? To put it into perspective, just 3 weeks ago, I was in Iceland. Anybody ever been to Iceland?
Andrea.
Don't go to Iceland in October. That's my recommendation. 4 straight days of sideways sleet and rivers of water running down the road and soaking wet socks, and I said to myself, these beloved people had one chance to name their country. And they nailed it. First try. They totally nailed it. Well, I appreciate Jeremy's introduction. I'm a medical oncologist by training. I did both an MD and a PhD simultaneously at the University of Utah. I did a postdoctoral fellowship at Stanford University in both medical oncology and solid tumor genomics. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story of what happened while I was at Stanford. I was there as an instructor running a lab doing cutting-edge genome sequencing. And we're going to talk about what a genome is. We were mapping people's genes. And as a cancer doctor, I wanted to map the genes of patients in hopes that I could find a different way to treat their cancer when they weren't responding to normal therapies. So a guy walked into my office one day, and this is a famous person, you would all know. And he had a very bad problem, and he wasn't responding to normal treatments. He had an advanced kind of cancer. And we thought, if we take the normal approach in this patient, we're going to get the usual outcome, and he's going to be dead in less than a year. So we got a little piece of his cancer, and we sequenced it, and we found a gene, stunningly, that predicts he would respond to a certain drug. So we got that medicine, and we gave him the medicine, and I have to say, a few months later, I was standing there looking at his CT scan, and I was stunned because it totally worked. It was amazing. Tumors were shrinking, it was great. He went on to do very well. And I learned something very important from that experience. The first is that genes can tell us what medicines will respond to, and more importantly, they can tell us what substances we'll respond to, and they'll tell us about our wellness. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, about genes and wellness. And we're going to do, before we dive in too deeply, we're going to do just a little bit of what I call DNA 101. In order to understand genetics, so we're going to transport back in time, transport with me back in time to high school biology, okay? So we're back in high school biology, right next to each other, or whatever you want to do. And just imagine that what you see on the screen there is a human cell, okay? So our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, right? We have liver cells, skin cells, lung cells, all these different cell types, and they make up our organs, and that's who we are. What all of these cell types have in common is that the center is a nucleus, and that is filled with what's called DNA, right? So DNA, we're very comfortable with that term. We hear a lot about it. DNA is organized into long strings, little strings, and those are called chromosomes. You've probably heard about chromosomes. It turns out we get 46. We have 46 chromosomes, okay? So these are some numbers to remember. 46 chromosomes. We get 23 from our mom to 23 from our dad. And a chromosome is just a long piece of DNA, organized and bundled in the middle of the cell. Now, if we were to take a chromosome out and stretch it out tightly, we would see that all along that DNA are little individually organized regions called, anybody know? Genes. That's right. Not the kind that you wear either, but the kind that you inherit. All right? So if you counted up all of the genes along a single chromosome, you'd find there are a few hundred. So if you counted up the genes across all 46 chromosomes, how many do you think there would be? 20,000. Well, I gave you the answer on screen.
20,000.
I already know. All right, so you're right. Good job. You can read. So there are 20,000 genes. All right. So 46 chromosomes, 20,000 genes. And now, you don't have the answer to this next one. If you dive one level deeper, you would find that making up all of the genes are individual little, what are called base pairs. There are 4 of them that repeat over and over and over again. You may have heard of this. A, C, T, and G. A, C, T, G. And they repeat over and over again. In total, how many base pairs are there in each cell? 80,000? Okay, I'm going to try to melt your minds. 3 billion. 3 billion.
Wow.
All right, someone move. All right. Glad I impressed you. All right, so 3 billion base pairs, 20,000 genes, 46 chromosomes. All of that is called one genome, okay?
Just tell me right there.
3 billion base pairs, 20,000 genes, 46 chromosomes. That's a genome. There's a copy of that genome, an exact replicate, an exact duplicate in every single cell of our body. Every single liver cell, every single lung cell. And it's fixed and immovable. We inherit it from our parents. So that's what determines who we are. So now you're all experts in genomics, right? You understand? So, all right, good. So the study of genomics is the study of 46 chromosomes, 20,000 genes, 3 billion base pairs. Why does that matter? Because it determines all kinds of things, like our eye color, and our wellness, and our health. In fact, the current estimates are genetics make up what percent of our overall health and wellness? Anybody want to guess? About 40%. About 40%. So that's actually more than any other contributing factor. So our genetics really determine what's going to happen to us. Okay, so that's stunning, and I think it's important. It does things like it determines our height and whether we're going to get heart disease and all these other things. So why is all of this coming up now? Why is this a topic of conversation today? Well, it turns out that we can, starting now, map these genomes. The very first time that someone ever mapped a genome in a human was in 2003. That's actually not that long ago, right? And it just feels like it was yesterday. So 2003. Anybody want to guess how long it took to map the very first genome? 10 years. I have that on there. I'm feeling nice today, so I'm giving you the answers. Okay, 10 years to map one genome. And that was for a single person. What that means to map a genome is they put in order all 3 billion base pairs. A, C, T, G, A, C, T. That's not easy to do. How much do you think that cost?
Trillions.
Somebody say millions? Billions. You're right. $3 billion.
Wow.
$3 billion in 10 years to map one genome. Okay? So there was a reason we couldn't do that for everybody in 2003. It took too long. The cost wasn't a problem. Everyone has $3 billion. That's not a problem. It was 10 years it was a problem. So fast forward to 2019, and now things have totally changed. So we can accomplish the same thing. Instead of in years, it can take a few weeks or less sometimes. And instead of $3 billion, it can cost a few $100s. So we've seen massive improvements, and what it means is that we have an opportunity to do things we've never done before. So, as an example, we can use DNA to start to guide how we consume certain products, medicines, etc. Now, how is this different from what we've all heard in the popular press and other places? For example, there are these consumer genetics companies, right? You swab your cheek and send it in, and what you get back is where are you from, what is your ethnicity and ancestry, and things like that. Well, those are important, and I think there are a lot of big, important companies that have been built on that, and they've done a nice job. I would characterize that as recreational genetics. It's kind of gee whiz, right? It's kind of gee whiz. I mean, it's important, and I think they do something that's valuable. What we're talking about is this matters. Instead of gee whiz, we're talking about this matters. This is genetics that impacts your health, your wellness. It impacts and can predict what kinds of things you can consume. It can predict where you might be low. What kinds of vitamins might you be low in? What are you not going to absorb well? What might you not metabolize well? And therefore, you need to supplement those areas where you might be deficient. So that is kind of an overview of genomics and how we use it today. Now, you're all experts in genomics, right? You learn about 46 chromosomes, 20,000 genes, 3 billion base pairs. It used to take 10 years and cost $3 billion. And I hope that melted your minds. That was the goal. But we're going to transition now, and we're going to talk about how you use that information to make you all smarter about what we consume every day. Let's be more precise and more science-based in what we consume on a daily basis. And that is our goal with the science, with the wellness genome. And that's what we're excited to talk about today. I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague who will tell you more about the wellness genome. And this colleague is a pretty good guy. I've known him for a long time. He's my brother.
Please welcome to the stage the co-founder of Guidance Genomics, Justin Nadal.
I have two jackets. That's one, and this is the other one. That's the end of it. So, Lincoln and I come from a family of 7 sons. I'm number 2 boy. He's number 4 boy. But he's the apple of our parents' eye. He's the smartest, most handsome, the most successful. And so I'm coattailing him and trying to found a company with him. I'm really excited to be here. Grateful to Zija for having us, and excited to talk to you about this Zija genetic wellness program. You know, really what we're going to do is be able to help you understand through your DNA how you're built, how you perform, what you need, what works, what doesn't. We'll test hundreds of your genes, and we'll help you find out these things about yourself.
Gangster, dude.
We will provide you with custom meal plans based on your genetics. We'll provide you with custom exercise plans based on your genetics. And we'll provide you product recommendations, Zija product recommendations, with each of these traits that we're testing and looking at.
Woo!
It's really cutting edge. It really is. We're very excited.
Woo! Bless you.
It all starts with the collection kit.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Look at that. Look at that. Here we
Some
go.
people spit in tubes. We don't do tubes. We do swabs. All right?
All right.
You're going to get your genetic wellness kit, and it's important that you follow the instructions. They're not difficult, but they're fairly important. There are 4 swabs. You have to swab the inside of your cheeks very thoroughly. We have people swab the outside of their cheeks and send them in. It doesn't work. Swab
This is
thoroughly
awesome.
for the swab. Make sure you register online. You'll get the kit. It'll tell you how to register. You have to register your kit with your kit ID. You'll be de-identified. You're now going to be an ID number and then your genetic information, okay? ID number. So follow those instructions. It's easy to do.
Wow.
When the testing is finished, you'll be able to see the results in an online customer portal. This is kind of the landing page of the customer portal. We will have the results organized into 5 distinct categories, and these categories correspond with the Zija product bundles.
Wow.
So it's going to be nice. You'll be able to understand what products go with which of these reports.
This is crazy.
Can be very well thought out. And a big shout out to the Zija product team for taking the time to mapping all of their products and the different traits, and Jeremy and everybody else that helped us organize this for you. It's going to be exciting. As you click through these reports, there's a lot of information, and you can get granular, and it's exciting, and it's really cool. You're going to have a blast finding out what you're made of, okay? This is where it actually gets fun. Someone's over here getting excited.
Woo!
You've heard people say, well, it's in my DNA, or a company says, that's in our company DNA. Well, you're about to find out what's in your actual DNA, okay?
Come on, come on.
These are kind of some examples of some of the reports. In the weight management report, you're going to find out how you metabolize vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, carbohydrates. Right?
This is great. Look at that. We're going to kill it. Kill it.
Product recommendations throughout this report. In the personal care report, we talk a little bit about how we're aging, skin aging, sunspots, mental acuity. I have some sunspots. I find them endearing. My wife loves them. You'll also have Zija product recommendations in that report. In the active life and fitness report, we talk about how our body performs physically, strength versus endurance, some of those things.
Oh, that's cool.
And in the CBD report, this is really cool actually. It's very cutting edge and very new. The CBD report will help you understand how your body reacts to CBD in 8 specific categories.
Wow.
In fact, I'm a little nervous. I could probably use one of your N-Tune Max patches, so throw them up. Again, the weight management report is where you'll find the customized diet plan and the customized exercise plan, which are really interesting to look at. Now, if I were to show you these reports in detail for Jane Doe, we create these Jane Doe reports. So it's interesting. Okay, that's cool. if I put up one, where's Tommy?
Right.
Everybody. If I put a Tommy's report, the whole place stands still, and people stare at this thing and want to know what Tommy's, especially Tommy, right? If you look at Jane Doe, you're like, oh, it's interesting, it's cool. When it's mine, this is me. This is how I'm built. This is what I do. This is what I use well. This is what I don't use well. This is what I need. What do I do now? And then, you know, Lincoln's really smart in the science, yay science. But this is where the rubber hits the road, right? This is where we take science and turn it into what do we do for ourselves. I'll tell a quick personal story. So, gene BNDF, that's the name of the gene, it told me that I have a low intrinsic motivation to exercise. It's true. You're right, you didn't need the DNA to tell you that. I told my wife. I said, it's not even me, honey, it's in my DNA, it's not my fault. But I've learned that, right? And then I also learned that I have a low fat loss response to cardio. So if I do cardio, I will lose less fat than the average bear. So now I'm like, wait a minute, I've got a low intrinsic motivation to begin with. Now I'll lose less fat than average. It's over, man. What am I going to do? I keep reading. I keep getting interested. I find out that I have an enhanced, this is good, HDL response to cardio. Right? HDL is good stuff. So if I'm doing cardio, I might lose less weight than normal, but my HDL is going to go up, so I'm going to stay healthier. I'll stick around a little bit longer. That's okay. Less fat loss, but increased HDL. Then I kept reading and I found out that I have an enhanced protein utilization, meaning my body loves protein. It uses it well, it synthesizes it well, it burns it well, and the recommendation was to take my daily protein up closer to 30% of my diet. Not that easy to do, by the way, but something I got excited about. So, I did this. I increased my protein intake. I tried to follow some of the exercise program. But I have a low intrinsic motivation, so it's not fun. Then I tried to follow some of the diet plan, which is also interesting to try and do that. But in 4 months, I lost 15 pounds.
Wow.
So
That's like 2 weeks of Zija.
the commercial says, results may vary. Results will vary. So don't get caught up on that. But that's a personal story about my genes and what I was able to do. Let's take a quick look at one trait. Okay, so we call each of these traits. This one is systemic inflammation. The first time you come to systemic inflammation, it's going to talk kind of briefly about what it is and what your trait score is. Jane Doe here has an above average systemic inflammation levels. You'll see Zija products that are recommended for this systemic inflammation. If you click on systemic inflammation, click, takes you to the next page, which gives you a little bit deeper dive. This is how every trait in every report is organized. You'll have the basic trait and understanding, and then a deeper dive. What your genes say about you. Our analysis indicates your genetic profile exhibits right? You see your trait score, there's a little chart. Then below that, it talks about success strategies. Okay, what do I do? Well, we're going to lay out some ideas for you. It talks about the science, it talks about real-life applications, how do you handle this. Again, on the right, you see the Zija product recommendations. By the way, each one of these products it's a live link. Click on that, takes you right to the Zija product page.
Wow.
Woo! All the information about the product, the ingredients, what it does, right? You buy it right from that page. So this is a deeper dive into systemic inflammation, and each trait will be organized in the same way.
Wow.
I told you earlier that we would create custom meal plans. So this meal plan is built for you based on your genes. There's specific suggestions,
wow,
instructions for all your meals, and snacks for 7 days.
Dang.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack between those, snack
It's
between
crazy.
those, snack between those. If you're me, you snack again at midnight.
Jeez.
Whatever. They don't recommend that, by the way, but you can.
Wow.
It's organized by nutrients, it's organized by calories. You can decide how to use this, right? You get as granular as you want, you get as focused as you want. It's totally up to you. We provide it, you decide how to use it. Also, custom exercise plan. This plan is created for you based on your genetics. You choose a home workout.
Dude.
I'm going to the gym. If I go to the gym, I'm going to do classes, or I'm going to go to the gym and do weights. If I stay home, I'm going to walk and ride my bike, or I'm going to stay home and run on the treadmill. It's all laid out. You can choose some of these things, right? There are recommendations based on how you're comfortable exercising, or where you are in the process.
Blow up.
You can choose
Shake
chunk
shops in the
cardio
business.
versus strength. Again, it's all laid out, and it's day by day. It's based on how you want to do it. It's now up to you to decide how to use it. Kind of exciting. So, kind of in conclusion, I think it's amazing that we're actually using DNA right now to understand our bodies, right? We used to understand, I used to look at my dad and go, okay, I get it, right? And I look at my mom, yeah, okay, I get it. Now I know why I'm the way I am. My dad used to say, hey, I may be small, but at least I'm slow. We now can use DNA to understand about ourselves, what we need, what we lack, how we can get better. Now, imagine solving your own pain point this week. Next, imagine understanding this about members of your family, having insight into your whole family. Then you're preparing meals and snacks and making product recommendations for your family based on their actual needs, based on their specific needs.
They're giving us all a free test.
And last, imagine showing your friends and associates and your business team how they can find out about themselves and how they can buy products that will help them in a very specific way. This is very cutting edge, it's very exciting, and we're really honored to be part of this with Zija. We're grateful for that. I can't wait to watch the process and see how this transforms everybody. Thank you very much.
Lettuce! Dude, we're gonna blow it up.
That's the bomb.
We're gonna own it. Woo! Red dog! Woo!
Man, I cannot see a thing. So, this is how we're going to communicate, right? So, if there's something that excites you guys, you got to yell it out. It's very,
Woo! Woo!
very, very important. Well, I got to make a confession. All I knew about the DNA test was that they don't make for good gifts for baby showers. I hope you guys learned some things here today, right? You guys bring the worst in me. I can't believe it. Dude, but I can tell you guys we are excited about this program, right? It's a program that can allow each individual member to know better of themselves, right? It's a program that allows us to train, a platform that we can train people and teach people about health and wellness and beauty, right? Did you like the data you saw?
Woo!
Now, the cost, if you were to do this yourself, is over $700.
Wow.
So this is where the loud piece comes into place, right? We have some of these test kits that we're going to give away for free.
Wow.
So, we may not have enough for everyone. But we should have enough for the loudest people here. So, when the session is over, we're going to ask for you guys' help. Nothing monetarily, but we will ask for your participation, right? So we have a new product here. We got to figure out where it fits in our product range. Where does it fit in our new member program?
Wow.
Would it fit in the loyalty type of program, right? So it can fit in many ways. Like there is not one single individual that cannot benefit from this, right? But we got to figure it out where it fits.
So everybody will qualify for one free kit.
Wow.
The kit is free, guys.
Wow.
The shipping is included.
Wow.
And all the 5 tests are included.
Wow. Zija DNA, hashtag.
So get your kit. It's important. There's a little form you gotta fill out.
Dude, this is crazy.
Right? All it is, it's your name, information, email address. Why is that important? That is important that we can engage you guys in a focus group. There will be a special Facebook group that you guys all going to be added in, and you will see us ask questions, right? That's how we're going to interact with each other. You have an experience, we ask about your diet, we ask about your exercise, we ask about what products you're taking, how often you're taking, the results that you're seeing, we ask about your test, nothing proprietary or personal there. But by asking those questions, we will know how we can best use a product like this, right? Everybody will get a box, so you get the sheet, you fill it out, you turn it in, you get a box.
Wow.
Very easy to swap. As I said, you swap, you put it in an envelope, it's prepaid, then you can drop it at the lobby, they'll ship it for you, or drop it no later than Monday when you get home.
Wow.
But I gotta make a point here, right? And you guys are leaders, you guys are all champions. Not that you didn't know that, and you didn't need a test to verify that. And you guys are. I heard you. But you guys, most people here, they had over 100 points just to qualify to be here. You guys realize that? In 3 months. That's a ton of work that this group did to be here, right?
That's right.
You guys sacrificed. You left families, you left work, your day job, you spent time here to be on this weekend with us, right? And I hope you guys are having a good time. Are you having a good time? So, as you saw on the calendar, we're going to have a leadership conference every year. Right? You guys are here, that is great, but there are a lot of people that need to be here.
Yeah, they played a video.
So, you guys have heard the name FOMO? I had to Google it. Fear of missing out. That's what Google said, right? So, as you experience with the test, make sure you take a little video. Not that you haven't done already. I've been on Facebook. You guys have seen the results and all that. But make sure that everybody that's not here, they know the value that they missed, and they can make sure that they don't miss other activities.
That's right.
What are the other activities? Kickoff, right? January, the cruise in March, summit in July, and the next leadership conference in October. Right? So those are the simple steps. Can I hear another Go Zija?
Go Zija!
1, 2, 3.
Go Zija!
Zija President and Chief Executive Officer, Jeremy Day.
Alright, so where's Amanda? She doesn't know I'm going to do this. Come up here real quick. So you guys thought that was alright?
Yeah!
Can it
Legit.
help you in your business?
Yeah!
Okay. Come on up. Sorry. So you have a unique perspective to what was just announced. Let me grab this real quick. How does this change how you approach your members and how you approach your current customers and your clients?
Well, I'm also a nutrition coach. I'm a fitness trainer. So I already write nutrition programs, but coming from somebody that doesn't know what their background looks like, this is an absolute game changer for me. So I'm going to be able to let them do the test, run with that, and if they don't want to use the actual nutrition guide here, I can work with them to tweak it, whatever their modifications or allergies may be, so that they can run with that throughout their entirety of trying to be healthy. So I think it's a game changer. I read John Morris, so I'll sit back there and I'm like, game changer for anybody in the fitness nutrition profession.
Yeah.
Run with it, use it, it's going to be amazing.
Woo!
So logical completion model, we want to solve the pain points of our customers. Does this help us do that?
Absolutely.
Does this help us help them convert their homes?
Yes.
And then with these types of tools and resources in place, does this allow them to potentially get their products paid for as they're sharing?
Yes, absolutely. If you cannot run with this and become a diamond, I don't know what you're going to do. So,
Come on, come on.
Woo!
Lincoln already left, but I had to laugh because they had to catch a flight. So he's not here and he won't be able to hear this joke.
I understood one word of his presentation. And that was when we said the word nucleus. Everybody knows